practices been for you?
Two. We only had one. It felt like two, but no, it was good. Good energy. We figuring things out. But it was a good day. Get some time to rest and come back for the second one.
Chemistry is really an interesting thing. How long do you think it'll take you to kind of feel like you know everything in the system and the team?
I'm not sure. We taking day by day. We figuring each other out, figuring out what we are, and we'll figure that out throughout. That's what the season's for. We know we got one ultimate goal, and that's to win the championship. And through that process, it's going to be adversity. We just going to make sure that throughout it, we stay connected, stay communicating with each other.
All right, Mike?
Hey, Anthony, just wondering how the offseason, you actually had the 4 months this time after having the 2 last time. Can you feel that already? Like in the first practice, is your body starting to feel a different way as you head into the season?
Yeah, for sure. It's not just me. I think all of us.
Yeah.
All of us feel great. We feel good. We're flying up and down the floor. Where we kind of took it slow last year because we had that short off season. But me personally, I feel great. Body feels great. Ready to go.
And then Russ, just to kind of follow up on that, all the ideas that you had, right, about this team and talking to AD, talking to LeBron, once you actually get on the floor in the team concept, like how much of what you thought might be out there are you seeing in that?
I see a lot more now. A lot more things that we can do with each other and just, so many different options. And, man, we're going to figure it out. I just can't wait to get on the floor when the season starts, with these guys and just have fun. Ultimately, that's the ultimate goal when you play this game. A lot of times people get caught up in all the hoopla and everything else and forget to have fun. And the ultimate goal is to have fun with each other, create a brotherhood, and win a championship.
All right, Kyle?
Russ, yesterday Rondo said that when you guys are on the floor, you guys want to destroy each other. How do you see that competitive level manifest in this practice throughout the whole roster, not just you two?
I think it's good, man. We got a bunch of guys in this league that's been competing for a long time, and it's the reason why a lot of these guys are Hall of Famers. And competing and having a competitive spirit is a part of our practice, part of our DNA. It's going to be a part of our team and our mindset and pushing each other each and every day.
Any fiery moments today in particular? Or?
Every day.
Yeah. That's what we do. I mean, that's how we get better. Just competing against each other and talking shit and all that. So, that's what we are. We got a lot of shit talkers on the team. So
starting with you.
No.
No.
So it's gonna be a great year for sure.
Dan?
Do you sing all your trash talk? No.
That was one night only. That's it.
One night only. When I retire, I might go on tour, but no.
What do you think? That wasn't my real question. What do you think defensively the identity of this team can be? I know you guys lost a lot of kind of defensive-minded players and stuff like that. How is that going to change?
Myself, Russ, Braun, Doe, Dwight, DJ. Taylor, Nunn, we got some defensive-minded guys and guys who want to play defense. And it kind of just begs and it goes, offensive to our schemes that we've been doing, the past couple of years, just, trying to be a defensive-minded team, being the number one defense in the league. And, even though we lost those guys, we can get back to our ways. And even the guys that over the years been known as, struggling on defense, buying into the system, helping them, having their backs and coming together as one on the defensive end.
Russ,
I think we can be a great.
I was going to say, what is it like as a defensive guard knowing you've got AD on the court, knowing that maybe it's AD and Dwight or AD and
Yeah, I mean, it's a luxury. We actually was talking about it today on just changing my mind mentality. Having those guys is just a blanket in the back that you can always count on, and it's to do my job and make sure I get into the ball and defend to the best of my ability. And I know those guys are gonna have my back just like I have theirs.
And another thing on that, it gives our guards, more confidence to pressure the ball, knowing that we back there. So the more we can, as bigs, kind of anchor the defense, it gives them enough confidence to go out there and smother the ball.
Dave?
Russ, do you prefer Russ or Russell?
Russ is cool.
Russell.
Yeah.
Okay, so you played with one of the best.
Russell?
Russ or Russell?
Oh. What you say? Have you heard of Russell?
No. Never heard of that.
Trying to stab.
No, I didn't know who that was.
So you don't like Anthony?
We don't call
I don't like Anthony.
No, don't call me that.
So, Russ, you played with one of the best 7-footers of all time, Kevin Durant. What type of 7-footer is
Well, I'm not 7 foot, so I don't know.
Big man.
Yeah, I mean,
just the thought of getting to play.
Yeah, I mean, AD is a special talent, and obviously, the whole world knows it, and You know, the league knows it. One of a kind. There's nobody like him that can do everything that he's able to do at his size. And my job is to make sure I continue to push him each day, each practice, each game, so he can be at the top of his game each and every night. You know, he's been in this league a long time, so he understands how to play the game. He knows when he needs to turn up, and I know now he wants to turn up. So it's my job to make sure that that's up every single night.
And AD, how do you take it from a teammate like Russ or Rajon when he was here? We talked about that too. Like him, someone who kind of is trying to encourage you, push you. How do you receive that from teammates?
I mean, it's good. I like teammates who's going to push me. The encouraging, I don't need to be encouraged. I want to be pushed. You know what I'm saying? Like I want guys to, tell me when I'm messing up. Me and Russ had numerous conversations just in this first practice alone, about things that we can do together as a duo when we're both on the floor. So, that's what I want. And I got 6, 7 guys that's doing that: Russ, Braun, Doe, Mel, DJ, Dwight. Like I got numerous guys that's always in my ear about things. So, you can't ask for more. As a player to who wants to get better.
All right, we'll do the last two. We'll start with Bill.
Hey guys, whenever superstars get together, sacrifice gets thrown around a lot as a term. What does that mean with this group? I mean, in what ways do each of you need to adjust your games, or what kind of sacrifices do you see yourselves making to make this all have the ultimate payoff?
We just in this first practice, we passed up a lot of shots, to find the next guy, and that might be over sacrificing, but we try to make the right plays. But I don't think anyone on this team have an ego. No one on this team is trying to be selfish, and it looks good on the floor for the first day. Guys are doing the right things, making the right plays, and most importantly, guys are coming to work. This was a great first couple hours of practice, and I think sacrifice is going to be huge for us. And we talked about it yesterday. We talked about it this morning, and it's shown in the first practice.
All right, we'll end with you, Omar.
Hey Russ, you've had a lot of success in the pick and roll in your career, but doing so without playing with an all-star center. Now that you're playing with AD, what type of weapon is that for you in the pick and roll, and just kind of the chemistry that you guys have had?
It's the ultimate weapon. You got the ultimate weapon. It's my job is to utilize it the best of my ability to make sure that AD and Brian, whoever's in the pick and roll, are put in positions to be successful. That's a part of my job. And like AD mentioned, we've had many conversations today and passed up open shots and looks in different ways where we can make the game easy for each other. And that's strictly what we're trying to do. And with that comes sacrifice and figuring out the best solution for the team.
Yeah, Frank, I think a lot of people want to know who were the starting 5 today. Obviously, you got 3 that are pretty obvious. Who were the other 2?
Yeah, we had those 3 guys on the same team for a stretch, and the other 2 guys rotated throughout practice. There was a lot of different combinations that we looked at, and we'll continue to change that up from game to game, or practice to practice.
No revelation there.
No revelation, sorry.
Mike?
Yeah, Frank, all of the ideas that you might have had, right, with this new roster that you spent all summer with your coaching staff going over, how does that start to get put in? Like, what did you see today that was interesting or neat for you to see in person?
Yeah, I mean, I think the first thing is getting all the new guys up to speed with our defensive principles. I think it's important for us to build an elite defense around these 3 great offensive players. So that's the first thing. But we did look at a few different ways to really build the running habit. We want to be the best fast breaking team in the NBA. We have dynamic players, and adding a guy like Russ, and the speed that he brings to the table, we want to support him. And get everybody running. That's when we're going to be at our best. That's when we were at our best 2 years ago. When we led the league in fast break points, and I think those 2 things, along with some different early offense looks, that we put in, they're a little bit different than who we were last year to try to open things up.
And you just mentioned Russ. Just wondering, Frank, if there's anything that a little bit similar to the first question, where okay, you know what he's like, but now you see him in practice for your team. If anything stands out.
Yeah, it's noticeable how different the speed looks. A, in front of you in practice, in live, and B, on your side. Like, it's really exciting. You know, I'm going to be honest, you know, that myself, our whole coaching staff, you know, he's just a blur out there, you know, with his open court speed and even half court downhill speed. It's something that we're all really excited about. His first practice, he was basically a paint to great factory. You know what I mean? He was just getting in the paint and finding people either for lobs or threes all practice long. And it's something that's very encouraging.
All right, we'll go to Bill on Zoom, please.
Hi, Frank.
What's up, Bill?
You've talked in the past about the need for sacrifice from all three of your guys, but Russ is obviously the new piece here. Are there things that you are asking him to do differently from the last few years, or ways you're asking him to adjust his game to make it work?
Not really. You know, I mean, I think everybody on the team has to play team basketball. You know what I mean? And we're going to try to tailor our offensive system in particular, to each of our players' skill sets. But he's got to play within our defensive schemes and fundamentals and assignments. Honestly, what we're asking him to do is consistent with who he's been the last few years, and that's attack in the open court and be that dynamic guy when he has the ball. But also, Bron and Russ together, have to play off of each other. When the ball's outletted to Bron, Russ has got to fly. When the ball's outletted to Russ, Bron's going to fly. And that's the best way to complement those guys. But it's really about just getting up to speed with how with our culture, how we play, and then being himself.
All right, Dan.
Frank, how different, well, I think I know the answer to this, may answer it by the way. How do you want to handle this preseason? I know last year it was just sort of like, let's get through it and, start to manage like heavily things like, are you anticipating playing guys in preseason games? How hard are you going in practice? What's sort of the roadmap for that?
Yeah, I mean, we're starting hard with practice. We're going to go after it. Tonight will be a lot of system implementation, no contact. But it'd be nice to, probably get at least 2 games where, our core is playing significant minutes together, if not the whole game. But it's just a matter of striking a balance. The 6 games gives us the luxury to play some of the guys toward the end of the bench too, and get a better look at them.
Dave?
Frank, AD missed, I think, 36 games because of injury last year, but even in the games he played, I don't think, by the eye test, looked like the same player he was that helped you guys win a championship. How much is it on him as an individual to get back to the level, and how much is it on, he was talking about guys like Russ and Rondo and LeBron pushing him, and then also the coaching staff putting him in positions to succeed, excuse me.
Yeah, well, we all have to push each other, not just Anthony. The coach is going to push all our guys, our star guys, our role-playing guys. They'll be pushed by us, and and they'll be pushed by their teammates as well. I think Anthony doesn't, quite frankly, need a whole lot of that. He's very motivated to have a bounce-back year from what happened last year, and we're all disappointed, that he wasn't able to be at his best due to the injuries and the lack of the off season. But he's definitely put in the work this off season. He looks really good, and we'll all be pushing each other.
All right, Kyle.
Both Russell and AD seem really revved up by the competitiveness of the practice, and Rondo said yesterday, Russ and I look to destroy each other. And obviously, there's so many strong personalities in this gym. What stands out to you about competitiveness level, and are there times where, as a coach, you got to pull that in, like, hey, save for the games? Or
the only time you got to pull it in is when they get too consumed with the officiating, which did happen from time to time today, which was fully expected. But the practice was really like, let's do as much quick drill work to sort of implement our system, and then get playing 5-on-5 as quickly as possible. So we did play a lot of 5-on-5 today. There was a lot of competitive spirit on display. That was exciting to watch, and for the most part, guys weren't too paralyzed with what we're trying to do system-wise, and we're able to just play with randomness and flow, and it was fun to watch.
A little bit of a follow-up there. You mentioned the officiating. I'm wondering, you said it's to be expected. Are there parts of officiating that you're trying to mix in sort of the new emphasis and the new rules that they're going to call? Okay.
Yeah, we're just calling fouls, and our competitive guys don't like to be called for fouls.
We have time for 2 more, BT.
Frank, what's it going to be like to have a target on your back this season, and how do you embrace that? Is it challenging?
What was the first part of that?
What's the point of having a target on your back? I mean, you're the Lakers.
Oh,
you got
yeah.
LeBron, you got Big
Yeah.
you got Russ. And you've been through this before, but how do you kind of deal with that day by day, game by game?
Yeah, I mean, we're going to have to face it all year. It's probably a bigger target this year than ever. Although when we come out of the gate strong in year one, the target was there, and when we won the championship, the target was there. So our group is used to it. It's quite frankly something that we welcome. It makes for tougher nights because you get big performances from teams that play above themselves. But the result of that is you're pushed every night. You know what I mean? If you're pushed every night, then you have to be sharp, and you want to be challenged. If you're challenged like that, you're going to reach a higher level. So it's something that we welcome. It will lead to some losses from time to time with teams playing above themselves against the Lakers because they have the target. But those are regular season things that ultimately, in the long run, sharpen you.
All right, last question, Jovan.
Hey Frank, what were the first impressions of the Russ AD pick and roll, and what are you looking for from LeBron when he's off the ball in those scenarios?
Well, Bron does it all. Obviously he's grown so much in the last few years with his three ball, so he can spot up and punish over helps in that way, but obviously a dynamic cutter as well. With Bron, with Russ and AD, it's just about screening angles and just getting that two-man chemistry. Between each other with pocket passes or lobs, the reads and all those types of things, that are going to take place. There's a couple of situations we looked at today, that they looked really good together, and just something that will grow throughout the year.